Speaking of injuries, do we have any guesses? Because I know, of course, the information's not completely out there. Emeka Buka and on down the line.
Well, Day said that he expects everybody to be back, hopes to have everybody back. I don't expect Emeka Buka back just yet. Travion Henderson, they said he was close. Denzel Burke, they said that was a game time type of thing, just not quite there yet. So I would expect those two guys to be back. Is that the extent of the big three, right? It's just those three that we're talking about.
Those are the only three at this point.
And I think you'll continue to see Carnell Tate step up more and more. I think he played the same number of snaps as Xavier Johnson last week, as they both kind of replace Emeka, and we'll see. Day, like I said, Day says everybody should be back, but I'd be shocked.
My last thought on Dallin Hayden is he's played 2 full games against mid-level Big Ten defenses, Maryland and Purdue, and he looked phenomenal in both games. And then he played a 9-carry game against arguably the best defense in the country and produced more rushing yardage by far than anybody else on the field. Limited action, wasn't like he carved him up for 8 yards a carry, but it was 4.5 plus. Even if he's as awful as people think he is, or he may be in pass pro, I would give it 2 series a game to even see, okay, even if it's obvious that when he's in the game, he's running the football, or he's some kind of decoy and we got to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly and it limits our offense. I'll go back to, and I know you don't want to play a full game tipping your hand 70% on every play, but a couple series a game to see, hey, maybe even if we're playing at a strategic disadvantage, that Dallin Hayden is good enough to outplay that. Let's go back to the old Vince Lombardi style of play that exactly what's coming. We're going to run the Packer sweep, but you can't stop it. Now, obviously not to that extreme, but I just, the whole red shirt, to Steve's point, I'm not going to go to his end of the spectrum. Hopefully not. But yes, you are Ohio State. You're playing for a national championship basically every season. If this guy's your best back, run him.
He had 3 100-yard games last year as a true freshman. That's the same number that Travion Henderson had when he was outstanding as a true freshman in 2021. As you said, that Georgia game is 9 carries for 43 yards. Like, that was as good as just about anybody had done against Georgia, averaging 5 yards a carry there. And he had 100 yards against Indiana, then another 100 against Maryland, and the game against Georgia. And sandwiched in there is like 2 carries for 7 yards against Michigan, when everybody was like, why isn't Dallin Hayden playing? You take that Michigan game out of there, and in those 3 games, Indiana, Maryland, and Georgia, I think he rushed for like 290 yards. And yet, 2 carries again for 7 yards. Maybe that was the changeup that Ohio State came up with to combat Michigan stealing signs. They just didn't play their best running back.
I don't get it.